To his surprise, renting a house could come with a beautiful woman. This man is Mark. He had unexpectedly rejected the inheritance of a billion-dollar fortune. In his anger, his father sent him to Academy Island. With no money in hand, Mark arrived on the island, where he met a kind-hearted female landlady. He asked to rent a cheap and value-for-money house. Mary, the landlady, assured him it would be simple. Her apartment had all the facilities, and there were other things included. The rent was only 5,000 yen per month, but it required a full-year commitment, and the rent was non-refundable. Mark was tempted when he heard this and immediately signed the agreement. Mary led Mark to the door of the room, pulled out a key from somewhere, and when Mark saw the apartment, he was even more satisfied. Suddenly, laughter came from inside the room. Curious, Mark walked forward. He pushed the door open, and in front of him was a cute, pure-looking purple-haired girl, sweetly eating yogurt and looking at Mark with confusion. Mark suddenly panicked and asked Mary what was going on, but Mary replied that Mark had misunderstood. Even though the purple-haired girl was sitting in the room, Mary firmly stated that she hadn't seen anyone else in the room. The girl in front of him wasn't actually a person. Her name was Jenny, and she had been murdered here 10 years ago, becoming a ghost. She couldn't leave this room. Mary emphasized to Mark she was the gift included with the rental, and he could choose not to live here, but the money he paid would not be refunded. Since Mark had already paid the rent, he had no choice but to stay in the room. Jenny greeted Mark. Mark tried to shake her hand, but he couldn't touch her body. Strangely, though, Jenny could touch him. Mark realized that Jenny really was a ghost. Suddenly, Jenny wanted to fight Mark. The reason was that she had been living in the room for a long time, and had developed her own way of living. She wanted to settle who would be the master of the room through a battle. The loser would have to unconditionally obey the winner. If Mark won, he could make Jenny his cohabiting girlfriend. Mark suddenly became interested and reached out to tackle Jenny, but he missed completely.